Coach Clark, if you could start us off with some opening comments.
Sure thing. First, I always like to thank my wife and my family just for dealing with this job and this profession. Thank our athletic director, Mark Coleman, and our president, Dr. Joseph Shepard, for their continued support of our program and myself. Thank you to the RMAC and the media for this event. Thank you to the RMAC in general for my time here. In our last year going out, I've spent the last 8 seasons as part of this conference, 2 at Mines, and then going into my 6th season here. I've learned a lot in this league, developed a lot as a coach, and I think it's a great league and watch it continue to improve. And I think it's best standing as a football conference at this point compared to when I got here 8 years ago. It's definitely improved dramatically. So I'd like to thank the RMAC in general for my time here and all that I got out of my 8 years here. In terms of the season, like everyone else, of course, we're excited. We have a lot of pieces coming back to be excited about. To have a 4-year starter at quarterback who's going to be in the top of the RMAC in most categories when it's all said and done. He's already thrown for over 10,000 yards and nearly 100 touchdowns. Last year was ranked in the top 10 in the country in pretty much every statistical category, and Mitch Glassman. Excited about that, of course, the returning RMAC Freshman of the Year, and our tailback, Marquise Rogers, is an outstanding player. Again, I think he's as good as any in the conference at the running back position. Took a blow on the offensive line, unfortunately, with our all-conference, a guy that was named to the all-conference team. Michael Coe tore his pec about 2 weeks ago, so unfortunately he won't be playing for us, but luckily we think we've developed enough offensive line depth where we're still going to have a very strong unit up there to be able to protect Mitch and to be able to create lanes for Marquise. I think we have a very, very talented group of receivers, really good freshman class, some good returners, some good transfers. We think we're going to have a great competition there, and we've, in general, always done pretty well when it comes to receivers and having some skill out there and some guys that can make some plays. So again, excited overall with our offense, obviously, that returns a lot. It's also Mitch's first time having the same offensive coordinator. He'd had 3 offensive coordinators in his first 3 years, and Coach Murphy, our offensive coordinator, returning, does a great job. Obviously, last year our offense averaged, I think, 509 yards a game of offense. Did some great things. We're very versatile. Had 3 games where we rushed for over 300 yards, 4 games where we threw for over 400. Again, I think we do a great job of attacking people in different ways. So, of course, excited for everything that's coming back offensively and think we have the potential to be great there. Defensively, we needed to make some corrections defensively and to address some personnel issues, and we think we did those sufficiently and had a very good spring there. Defensive line have a lot coming back there. Anthony Avina was named to the preseason all-conference team. He'll be a 4-year starter for us. I think he's one of the best in the conference. We have 3 other seniors, so our whole starting defensive line will be seniors with a lot of experience, and we think we can have a great group up front there. In the secondary, Darius Guillory had 5 picks last year and was named to the all-conference preseason team, and last year first team all-conference. I think he's a heck of a player, and then we have a number of other strong defensive backs and at the linebacker position as well. So if we can get things together a little bit better on defense and just become more consistent, we think we can do some really good things this year. Again, our depth overall we think is the best it's ever been, so our special teams should be stronger as well. So we're hoping to make this last year in the RMAC something special.
Morning, Coach Creighton Raps from Hero Sports. You were alluding to your wide receivers. 4 of your top receivers graduated. You have sophomore Xavier Ayers, who's basically your lead returning. Who are some of the other young players or newcomers you expect to see step up among the receivers?
Well, one, Xavier's a good player coming back. We expect him to have a big year and to continue to develop. But Larry Young, if you look at his statistics, that was in half a season. He only played in half the season, and if you multiply those by 2, he would have had around 8-9 touchdowns and close to 800-900 yards. So we really think that he's actually going to be a premier type of guy in this conference. And like I said, we've had 3 straight years with receivers over 1,200 yards and double-digit touchdowns. So we've been pretty good about putting out some quality receivers. We think Larry Young can be that type of guy. We also think Xavier can be that type of guy. We also have a number of transfers that we're really excited about. Some great freshmen that have been down with us early, working with us over the past few weeks that I know getting reports back from Mitch, Mitch Glassman, that he's really excited about some of those guys. Some good size, a 6'6" guy, a 6'5" guy, a 6'3" guy who can fly, and these are all freshmen in that group. So overall, we think it's going to be very, very interesting with Larry and Xavier leading the way as returners. The rest of the group is very talented, and it'll be interesting to see who gets to catch all those balls from Mitch, but we know we'll have someone good delivering to him, and just be great competition among those guys.
You also mentioned you had, I want to count on officially, you had 7 starters returning on defense. I know you alluded to defensive line and to Gil Darius during your comments. Who were some of your key guys among the linebackers?
Linebackers, one we have is Don Tyler, who was a transfer who came in, who we're really excited about. Leo Marin is a real good player for us that we know will play quite a bit for us. Those two will be really good players for us.
Company line aside, were you in favor of the move to the Lone Star?
I like the RMAC. I think it's a good fit for us. I understand why our athletic department made the decision to move to the Lone Star. If I was in the athletic director position, I probably would make the same decision. But I really like the RMAC. I think it's a good fit for us. I would have been fine staying, but again, that's not my decision, and we're going to go into it full head of steam next year. But obviously, I'm more concerned with what's coming up this season.
Coach, Dan Collins, Eagle Communications from Shatter, Nebraska. Question about, you talked about Marquise Rogers, obviously a super talent. Did you expect he would have the kind of production that he did last year? Looking forward to what's ahead, maybe his career, can he set just a tremendous legacy for Western?
I believe so. In terms of thinking, would he do what he did last year? It's hard to project that type of production. I mean, we talked about receivers earlier. That's another thing. He was, I think, our 3rd or 4th leading receiver. I think he had around 30 receptions last year too. So he's a guy that we actually plan on splitting out a little bit more too, because he can flat out go, and we know he can run by people. So he'd be a guy we'd like to see catch even more footballs. A guy that could legitimately catch 50 catches, have 50 catches in a year. Be a guy that could be close to 1,000 yards receiving and over 1,000 rushing. But yeah, he has 3 years left, and what he did in that first year, yeah, we're telling him that he can do incredibly special things in his career. Again, I don't know if I could ever have thought that he would do what he did last year. We knew he was going to be very good, but he was outstanding, and we're just excited to see what he'll continue to do.
And as the last year in the RMAC that we talked about a little bit this morning, is that kind of a rallying cry for you guys? Are you using that in any way coming into the season since our final year?
I mean, regardless, we want to go out and win every game. So I don't know if it necessarily matters what conference we're in. We'll talk about it a little bit. We'll say it's our last chance here in this conference, and we think we have things lined up well to do something special this year with the returners we have and the group of young men that we have together, that we can do something. So it'll be something we'll talk about in terms of it's our last chance in the RMAC. We've been very close to having some very good years over the last few years, a lot of close losses. Let's finish and make this one something special.
Coach, we put together a record book this summer throughout the 105-year history of the RMAC, and Mitch Glassman's a guy maybe a little like Austin Eckler, under the radar in terms of he's been maybe overshadowed statistics-wise by a couple other guys each year, but his collective numbers, he's got a chance to walk out of here as the all-time leading passing yards and passing touchdowns in RMAC history. That's kind of ironic, I guess, that in your final year, Mitch Glassman, a guy that I don't think's been first team all-conference, maybe not second team, could walk out of here as the all-time leading passer in RMAC history.
We're all partial to our guys in here, but I think Mitch is as good as any quarterback in this league and one of the best in Division II. His numbers have spoke for that. I think everyone that has to prepare against him knows how good he is, knows the things he can do. And again, you're talking about a guy that could end up with over 14,000 yards passing, 130, 140 touchdowns type of guy. Those are pretty absurd numbers. And he's just been consistent. And yeah, I don't think he's gotten the recognition. Now, again, in this conference, some other people have done great things. The numbers put up by Highlands quarterbacks lately, obviously at Mines, they've always had guys that throwing the ball around. McLean is a 4-year starter at Shadron, was a great player. There's been a lot of good quarterbacks. That's one of the things this year coming in. I didn't even mention Bonner, who won a national championship and was a player of the year 2 years ago. I mean, we've had just a lot of great quarterbacks in this conference. That's one of the things that I think gives us an advantage. Is we're one of the few that actually have someone with a lot of experience coming back. It's kind of been every other year that there's been a lot of experienced quarterbacks coming back. Do I think Mitch was deserving some of those years? Maybe, but it was stiff competition in this conference. But at this point, I do think he's again, arguably the best in this conference and one of the best in Division II. So I'm just blessed to have him and kind of scared about what I'm going to do when he's gone.
Anything else? Great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.